Lewis Hamilton may have taken the Formula One world by storm this year, but there's another motor racing series that spans the globe. It's called A1 Grand Prix, where 22 different nations race to determine the World Cup of motorsport. Zhuhai hosted the first of China's two races this season, and our reporter Mark Dreyer was there to see what it was all about.
It's taken me about 40 minutes to walk around the track here at the Zhuhai International Circuit. It takes the quickest drivers just 1 minute and 23 seconds in cars that go from 0 to 100 miles an hour and back down to 0 again in just 7.6 seconds. This is A1 Grand Prix. The big difference to other kinds of motorsport is that all the cars are mechanically identical.
The level playing field is what separates everybody. It's really the man behind the machine racing for his country.
The cornerstone of our series is the fact that Pakistan can compete equally with the USA in a sporting arena so that everybody has a chance of winning.
Zhuhai is a port town in South China sitting on the mainland just opposite Macau. Home to China's first motor racing track, the 4.3-kilometre circuit is hosting A1 for the first time, with crowds expected to make this the region's biggest race. All 22 nations in A1 have a universal chassis and engine, with just subtle setup changes the only difference. From next year, all the cars will be designed by Ferrari, which will only add to the sport's growing appeal.
If you go to a Formula One race, you probably have two teams that are going to win the race. I think you'll find here there's 10, 12, 14 teams who think they have a chance of winning.
F1 will always be the pinnacle of motorsport. But I mean, remember, it's our third season. You know, F1's been around for 57 years. We represent 4 billion people. If you look at the countries involved, India, Pakistan, China, Malaysia, Indonesia and so on, bringing in those non-motorsport countries is opening up an entire new market in terms of Asia.
A1 prides itself in being inclusive as opposed to the exclusivity found in Formula One. Here, fans can meet the drivers and, of course, pose with the grid girls. Away from the track, one of the many activities for fans is the tyre change challenge, where you can race yourself against the clock, changing the tyre on an A1 car. It's harder than it looks, but I thought I was doing pretty well until I realised that I was twice as slow as the professionals. Between races, trained drivers give speed rides to a lucky few in the safety cars. These Audis can go at a fair clip, and my driver wasn't taking it gently around the 13-turn track. Record crowds were expected to see the international lineup and, of course, cheer on the Chinese team. So what did they make of it all?
I see a lot of passion here.
It's cool.
It's about exciting, it's about speed because the country itself is, moving very fast. So it's just like, the same impact.
It's more international. It's not as team or brands or car made. It's more like countries. You see people from all over the world. It's fun. It's great.
Yeah, I support China.
I support Portugal.
I love Chen Congfu because he drives for China, and I think he's quite confident. Yeah, I hope he will win.
For China today, they have made such an incredible, gain in terms of what they're learning about motorsport that I reckon next 3 years it will be the team to watch.
Kung Fu Chung, known as Frankie, carries the hopes of Team China. He's grown up behind the wheel from an early age. After racing go-karts in China, he moved to England 7 years ago at the age of 16 and has experience in the Renault and Formula 3 series.
For me, as a driver, beating other competitors is the best feeling in my life. The target is always to win, but we have to be realistic that qualify 4th and 6th is a great result already.
He's the best driver among all the Chinese drivers, so far, at least.
Personally, my target is still in Formula One, and I want to be in Formula One as soon as possible. But at the moment, what I can do is just to prove myself I'm quick enough to be able to race in a top-level championship.
After all the build-up here in Zhuhai, race day is here at last. The cars are behind me lined up ready for the sprint race. Frankie Chung goes in 4th position for China. The crowd don't need much encouragement to make some noise for him, but just in case, they've all been issued one of these. The first of the day's 2 races was the sprint race. It has a rolling start and is 20 minutes long. It's 15 points for first place, down to 1 point for 10th. and there was lots of drama early on.
Trying to go the long way around Germany, but Switzerland cannot get
South Africa spins right in the middle. There's contact with other cars, bouncing over, Malaysia included, and Lebanon.
But Frankie started in 4th place on the grid and pulled out a sensational move, with the crowd watching as time ran out.
Goes to have a go down the inside. He's got alongside, he's taken the position away.
China into 3rd place on home turf, managed to do it. What a great move. And 3rd goes to China, the host nation. A fantastic podium, and he earned that. He fought his way past Team Ireland. What a star drive there by Kung Fu Cheng. He takes 3rd place. Look at the reaction down there on the pit wall for the Chinese.
It's a fantastic feeling. I cannot really describe how good I feel while crossing the finishing line. Big thanks to the team and a big thanks to all the people supporting Team China.
The Chinese people proved the A1GP with their own eyes, and the Chinese driver go to the podium, and it will happen again very soon after 1 hour time.
Pre-race entertainment thrilled the crowds as the drivers got ready to race all over again. Young and old filled the stands, but for some it was just too much. The feature race lasts for 70 minutes, but it counts for the same amount of points in the championship. Frankie started in 6th and battled well, but his race was effectively over after getting a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. But India claimed their first ever win, proving that motor racing in Asia is as strong as ever. It's been a fantastic weekend here in Zhuhai, capped off by Frankie Chung's superb performance. And from the looks of it here behind me, thousands of new A1 fans are going home very happy indeed. Mark Dreyer, CCTV.